Bonnar saying that Graves was being disrespectful for saying he was the toughest man in FSW, and here we go. No ropes, no rules, knockout or submission only. This match is guaranteed to be graphic. Stephan Bonnar, the UFC Hall of Famer. Graves, the FSW Nevada State Champion. Stephan Bonnar, if you're a longtime UFC fan, in what some have called the wildest fight of all time with Forrest Griffin, those two just tore each other apart. Graves has just been running through everyone who has been stepping in his path in FSW. Both these men are very dangerous.
Yes, looks very, very weird, Jake, without anything there, no ropes.
It's unique here. Like I said, this is going to be graphic. This is going to be violent. This could take time off both these men's careers.
You know, a true jiu-jitsu champion, gold medalist in national tournaments throughout the United States. Stephan Bonnar speaks for himself. UFC Hall of Famer. You know, first time ever a knockout or submissions only match. Of course, you got to watch for Disco Inferno. Somehow he injured his hand, I believe. He claims.
Maybe that's the same thing Bob Orton Jr. had.
You know.
Look at that, though. Graves holding on. Both of these men very intense with everything they do. We saw them try to tear each other apart at the FSW arena. It took about 14 guys to hold them apart.
You know, and we've talked about Graves, pound for pound. Doesn't matter what pound. He is probably the strongest man here in FSW.
I don't even know about probably. I think that's actually a guarantee. And look at the way Disco Inferno is trying to give insight to Stephan Bonnar. Now, Disco Inferno was giving fighting advice to Stephan Bonnar.
That's what I was just about to say. Is Stephan Bonnar going to learn anything from Disco Inferno?
Essentially, all he's really going to learn is how to be a lousy troll and have everyone else be able to counter your comebacks with better insults. That's Disco Inferno's life in 2018. Look at this, the way Graves is holding on to Stephan Bonnar. Bonnar trying to escape here. Graves is riding him currently. Look at Bonnar, traps the leg, tries to roll through. Graves not allowing it.
And right now, Stephan Bonnar's got Graves, but you can just see the power. Oh, and the takedown by Bonnar.
Oh, and he's got his ankle. He picked the ankle of Bonnar. Very unique here, and Graves allowing Bonnar back to a vertical base. A little surprising there, given everything that's gone down the last 2 months.
And you know, looking at the accolades of a Stephan Bonnar, you know, and look at this. Graves looks like he's just having a little fun rolling around.
It is Rusev Day, guys. As is tomorrow.
It could be. And right now, Stephan Bonnar, you know, probably comes into this match. He's a UFC Hall of Famer. He sees Graves, you know, a professional wrestler. And, you know, he might have heard about his jiu-jitsu background, but I'm pretty sure Stephan Bonnar didn't expect Graves to kind of manhandle him a little bit.
Graves, no disrespect to Bonnar whatsoever. Graves is the younger man. Graves is, you know, still able to train at a certain level. Bonnar's taken a lot of punishment throughout his MMA career. So if we had a time machine, this could be a very different fight if we had the Bonnar of the past against the Graves of the present.
Right, the one who fought Forrest Griffin.
I brought up that fight when you were gone, actually.
Oh, there you go. Oh, and look at that. And Graves again with the takedown.
Oh, look at this. Graves muscled him up. And Bonnar able to escape. And he goes back to Disco.
And I'm not sure Stephan Bonnar knows what to make of this. I think he's having a few issues.
He's absolutely having a few issues here. I don't know if he knew what to expect from Graves. Who knows what kind of things Disco Inferno's been saying to him. Go, Disco Inferno. Disco Inferno punches Graves, and that's the first sign of trouble we've seen for Graves all night.
I guess this is a no DQ KO or submission match.
Yeah, no rules, no ropes. Knockout or submission only.
Oh, but Stephan Bonnar, who's still got that vicious knee, drives it into Graves. And now all of a sudden, Team Bonnar, led by Disco Inferno, are feeling a little bit more confident.
And Bonnar is a world-class athlete. There's a reason he picked up professional wrestling so quickly. Trying to guillotine Graves. Yeah, he's locking in the guillotine. Again, this would count for the outside, and he's definitely just got to try and wrap the legs around the big frame of Graves. Graves trying to escape.
And it looks like Bonnar's got it latched on pretty good. But there you go, using the edge of the wrestling ring to his advantage. Oh, look at that.
And he drove him in hard that time. Graves is a powerhouse. But look at Bonnar. Oh, belly to belly on the floor.
But you could see the crowd, and as we've talked about, how much Graves has grown.
Now you see the referee counting. This would be classified as a knockout if Graves cannot reach a count of 10.
I believe so.
Yeah. I was making a statement.
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking me.
No. I was making a statement.
Was that a tag in? Did
I
Bonnar
heard
tag in Disco?
I don't know.
Oh, now Bonnar's kind of feeling his oats.
What a kick out of Bonnar. Catching Graves right in the stomach.
And throwing the right hand.
Didn't look like he caught all of Graves, but he definitely did. Because if you can send Graves to the mat, you got all of it. He does not go down easily. Bonnar letting the referee apply the count. I'm surprised he didn't stay on him.
Graves is saying, come on.
Oh, and he brings Graves to a knee.
Bonner's in real good shape. He's in his early 40s. Not a kid.
No, he's in great condition.
Easy money, Stephan Bonnar saying. It's funny how the thing transcends and now how cocky he has quickly become. You know, maybe he should be a little more humble. And
Oh, look at this, though. Graves rolling him over with a cross arm breaker. Bonnar doing everything he can to keep his hands locked so Graves can't hyperextend the elbow.
And right now, Graves has got Bonnar.
Bonnar
there's
rolling through.
There's no ropes. There's nothing he can do. He either has to break the hold or give up.
Graves, though, trapping the arm.
Oh, and look at this, and he mounts him, and now he starts pounding away. Shades of Bret Hart.
What is Graves? Graves applying the ring post figure 4. Bonnar in a lot of trouble. Is he going to quit? Is Graves going to put down the UFC Hall of Famer? Disco Inferno, though, distracting one of the refs, but we have 3 officials in this contest. And now a lot of damage has been done to the leg of Stephan Bonnar. His knee, unable to put a lot of weight on it.
Oh, and look at that.
Bonnar, though, with a big comeback.
And now he's trying to fire those forearms, but Graves trying to block him.
Oh, look at the way he's wrenching the neck of Graves, tying it in between his big legs. Oh, he's got the key lock applied. The double wrist lock. And he's trying to put that into the cross arm breaker.
And then now take a look at Stephan Bonnar. He looks extremely confident right now that he is going to become the new Nevada State champion.
He's going to try and hyperextend the elbow of Graves. Graves trying to shift his body weight to a position to break the hold.
Oh, and look at this.
And look at Graves picking the ankle with a heel hook. Bonnar doesn't have a choice.
And this is going back and forth. Two submission specialists. Oh.
And it's just a stomp right to the face that breaks the hold. Very different dynamic we've seen in this matchup than any other matchup tonight. It's still essentially a survival match when you get down to it.
Obviously, he learned the stomp to the face in Disco's class, not at the UFC. And now Disco's starting to feel good.
Perhaps the first time Disco Inferno in his career should have the level of confidence he normally displays. Graves might be done. Signs of life in Graves.
And Team Bonnar might be celebrating a little early.
And Bonnar and Disco are in shock. Bonnar, though, hobbling in, trying to deliver a shot to Graves, who catches the legend and drives him straight into the mat. Disco trying for another one of those punches. He got his shots in on Graves, and Bonnar twisting him with a spinning lariat. Short arm discus lariat out of Stephan Bonnar. And that might be enough to put Graves down.
And the referee is making the count, but Graves once again.
Maybe Disco Inferno was right. Bonnar is the toughest man in Nevada. It's going back to that. Going back to that double wrist lock. Trying to just wrench that Graves' arm. Oh, now he's going to the leg.
Looks like he's going for the ankle lock.
Yeah, picking the ankle, going straight to the lock. Trying to contort the ankle at Graves at a very dangerous angle. How long can Graves hold on? In a regular match, he would try to will himself to the ropes. In this match, not possible.
Imagine he puts him to sleep.
Yeah. Doesn't fully have applied in the rear naked choke.
Oh, and look at this. Graves was using his strength to break the hold.
Trying to cut the flow of blood off to the brain of Graves. Graves' body's going limp. Graves is in a bad spot. See a little bit of movement in the, oh, you see Graves now. He's gonna say a little bit of movement in the hands. When instead Graves getting a second burst of energy here.
And right now Bonnar trying to keep, but look at this.
Pulling at the fingers and hand, trying to get wrist control.
And Graves has broken the hold.
Half and half suplex launches Bonnar through the air, and here comes Disco Inferno again. Final cut.
And right now, Disco is out.
And now Graves is locking it in. He's got the legs wrapped around the big frame of Stephan Bonnar, who's got nowhere to run.
Your winner of the match, champion,
You see Graves just sit in the corner, and it doesn't even faze him. He's just waiting for the match to start and then try to kill somebody.
Yeah, Graves is a no-nonsense guy, and he's letting the nonsense get out of the way before he goes for the kill. And for the case, it is a big match for all 6 of these men. You're going to have to calculate your risk if you want to get that briefcase.
And
it's a good way to get in the front of the line for any title in FSW.
And they've kind of broken up. And Clutch going right after Remy Marcel, Vandegrift and Ice Williams, who know each other well. And then you got Graves going after the recently returned Owen Travers, who's been out with injury for about 4 months.
Yeah, and it was actually at the 9th anniversary where Graves, Travers, and Chris Bey were in the finals of the Nevada State title tournament that Graves won. And we got
Clutch.
High flying big man takes out Graves. Takes out the Jeep. And making it rain.
Cash money. I'll be right back. I gotta go grab some money.
You did good tonight. You don't need any more of that.
That's true. Can always do better, my friend.
And now Clutch, he knows what it's all about. Grabbing that ladder, trying to get in the center of the ring and climb that thing.
He is the first guy. Look at that little shot at Graves.
And Graves, maybe that was an unnecessary shot because Graves saw what Clutch was going to do with that ladder.
And some fists of fury. And look at this. Here's Matt Vandegrift up top.
Vandegrift.
Where's he going?
Never saw a risk he wasn't willing to take. Oh! And he hit everybody, well, grazed everybody, but Vandegrift himself landed hard.
You know, do they not understand that the concept is inside the ring to grab a ladder and climb the case?
Hey, maybe he knows that now. But you know who's very aware of what to do in a ladder match? Remy Marcel.
Look at the old man,
Well, the old man looks like he's locked in a couple targets for a risk.
Well, at least he had 3 guys underneath him.
And he took them all out. You talk about a newcomer who's built a fan base. Ice!
And Ice Williams, listen to the crowd.
Ice Williams, the smartest one. But Vandegrift saw him. These two were both involved in the no escape, no limit steel cage match back in this building in January. Actually, the match where Owen Travers lost the no limits title.
And Ice Williams looking for his breakout match here at the 10-year anniversary show. Beautiful leapfrog.
Oh, and he breaks up Ice's leapfrog. Both these men in a similar position in the company, despite very different personalities and attitudes. Look at the agility of the flip artist. Ice Williams, though, rolls in with that shot. Vandegrift, though, wipes him out. And Vandegrift, though, he might have taken down Ice, but he doesn't see the big man. Clutch.
And Remy Marcel making sure the ladder gets out of dodge as Vandegrift picks up the knee.
And look at Vandegrift now, locking the fingers of Clutch. Grabbing a hold of Ice, slips up a little though, but he still hooks Ice, brings him in. He catches Clutch right in the side of the head, but here comes Graves.
And the release German suplex.
Here's the man with no remorse.
Oh.
Good Lord. Turned Clutch inside out, and he sends the Chief right into Clutch. That was insane. Ice Williams picking a fight with a man you don't want to fight. Always a bad idea.
And look at that, he landed on his feet.
Yeah, don't celebrate too soon, though.
And it looks like Clutch isn't dead.
Thank God he's not dead, but Ice Williams may be.
Look
He
at
is a machine of destruction tonight. Graves is all about devastation. No one is safe. No one is safe. Remy Marcel might want to leave.
And Remy Marcel doesn't feel like going where Ice Williams just went.
Oh, look at Remy, though. Going around the world, and he takes Graves down.
And Remy Marcel.
The reborn Remy Marcel. You don't like it, but he's been successful so far.
And there's Clutch, he's the guy, keep going.
Long history between these two, between the Bonus Boys and the Whirlwind Gentlemen.
And Clutch on the ladder.
Remy Marcel, standing moonsault. He's a flip artist himself. Cutthroat German suplex, turning Vandegrift inside out and sending him on top of Clutch.
But Owen Travers connects with a big kick to the side of the head. And the action in this match is non-stop. We've seen some good stuff tonight, but this one is stepping it up.
2 years ago, that we thought Owen Travers was going to win that cash in the cage, but it wasn't meant to be.
And look at this, Owen Travers.
Well, the ladder's not lined up, first off. That's a short ladder. Look at Travers now, going to work on Graves.
And Owen Travers trying to clear house. Winding up with the big forearm.
Doing a good job of it so far. The Chief wants a triumphant return.
And it looks like he's off. As you said, the ladder is not right.
Could still get it, though. Remy Marcel giving some people a full view. Driving both feet into the chest of Remy Marcel. And Ice Williams wants to raise the stakes.
He's got a ladder that might actually reach the case.
Ice Williams bringing the ladder to make it the easiest to get to that case. That case is worth the risk these men are taking. It gives you a chance to cash in on any FSW title anytime you want.
And the last time that happened, it paid dividends for Hammerstone.
It did.
As he went after the heavyweight championship and then held the title for close to 2 years.
Yeah, and the last two winners, Nick Bugatti, Greg Romero, both had successful cash-ins. And look at this, Remy Marcel getting underneath Clutch. And again, Graves knows the importance of that case. It can change everything. He lost his best friend because of that case.
And right now, we're pretty much at a standstill.
Yeah, everyone's taking a lot of punishment.
It's almost like a rest mode, figuring out what they're going to do next. Graves is exactly where he started on the turnbuckle, perched, just waiting to kill somebody.
This time he's in a lot of pain right now at the moment, though.
That also is true.
Owen Travers, though. You know, he's had control comparatively to everybody else for a good portion of the last few minutes of this match. Until then.
And Remy Marcel's nowhere near the case. And Ice Williams looking for that resurgence after the quick start. That's his Vandegrift after he almost killed himself earlier.
Ice Williams built up that big following. Oh, and he takes Bender down, kicking him there. And here comes Remy from behind. Ice flipping out, landing on his feet. Icebreaker super kick. And Ice has got him mounted. Didn't get all of them, but got enough of them.
And Clutch pulling at Graves. And look at this, Graves with the, oh, look at that. Clutch is able to take Graves down.
Bringing Graves down here to the outside. Look at Ice Williams. What is Ice Williams doing? Oh my God! Step up moonsault from Ice Williams, who's all about the risks tonight.
And it looks like Remy Marcel has a shot.
He's using the short ladder and he's not underneath, directly underneath the case. And Vandergrift's on his trail, stopping Remy Marcel in his tracks on the rungs.
And Vandergrift
can't reach it either.
What are they going to do from here?
Powerbomb, sunset flip style.
And
off the ladder.
Remy Marcel, the back of his head.
And another super kick out of Ice Williams. Ice Williams had his fingers on it. The ice has been cracked.
And Graves has got Ice Williams in a spot.
And Ice Williams has been turned inside out. And the two powerhouses of this matchup are the ones standing right now. Clutch. Bringing Graves up to the top turnbuckle.
And he's trying to fire away with the forearms. There's not as much oomph in him as there was earlier.
Definitely not. After what these men have put their bodies through, you're not going to have the same oomph. Vandergrift, though, grazes Graves, but he brought Clutch down with that power bomb.
And Vandergrift getting back up.
Oh no! Oh no! And Graves hits that twisting brainbuster off the top this time. This has been a car crash. Not everything's been pretty, but everything has definitely taken years off all these men's lives. Oh no! Unreal out of the Chief. A back handspring diamond cutter, bringing Clutch off the ladder.
That was such a good move. I think Owen Travers made like 100 new fans. One of the most despised men here in FSW.
He's got 103 now. Good for him. There is no ladder set up underneath the briefcase. And the reason for that is because Owen Travers has destruction on his mind. As does Graves.
The old school headbutt.
And the Master of War.
Those fair weather fans. Graves is in control, so now they're getting behind him.
Hey, whoever's in control, whatever. This match alters your career. This isn't just about a single victory to climb the ranks. This is about getting you to the front of the line for any title you want.
The former Nevada State champion, his opportunity, if he can win this.
Oh, Ice Williams breaking the death grip of Graves. But that super kick, that icebreaker super kick, is just making the God of War more angry. And Graves planting Bryce Williams, but he doesn't see Big Money Clutch behind him.
And right now, Graves was in control, but it looks like Clutch. You know, Sugar Brown's in the back rooting him on.
Absolutely. Clutch gets that case. The bonus boys get that title shot anytime they want, if that's what Clutch wants. Clutch is so close, but he doesn't know Graves is on his trail. He knows now. Look at the power. Oh.
And Graves using the ladder as a weapon.
As if Graves needed a weapon to destroy.
But look at this, Owen Travers might be in position to steal this one.
You're right, he did make 100 fans. What is he doing? He's having a flashback. It was at the 8th anniversary where he set up a contraption like this to try to win that case, but it ended up backfiring on him.
And Owen Travers.
And the Chief can't get Graves to his feet. He was trying to lift him up.
He's giving up that notion, and maybe he's going to go for the win.
Good. Do it. It's why you're in this sport.
And Owen Travers is right there. Owen Travers.
He should be able to grab it. Oh no! He just broke that ladder in half. And that case is now Graves to win.
And there it is, the winner. What a match that was in Owen Travers. He may go back on the disabled list. And look at this. Thomas Day busted wide open.
Look what you did, Joe. Thomas Day's bleeding. But one thing stays the same. The 1% are still the tags. What the hell?
What is going on? Hammerstone and Graves. There ain't even a referee here. Jarrell Nelson trying to fight back.
But good luck against Graves and Hammerstone. Jarrell Nelson took a hard shot to the head in this matchup against the Soul Burners.
The gods of war are back.
And Graves is calling for a referee.
Where is the referee?
Graves wants a referee.
And Jarrell Nelson is laid out. What is going on? The referee.
And you know what's weird is we thought of Sugar Brown, or excuse me, Clutch won.
They are cashing in the belt.
We thought if Clutch won the cash in the case, he'd use it for a tag team situation. We never expected Graves to do that.
What an amazing night for Graves.
He wins the cash in the case. He helped Hammerstone win the Nevada State Championship. And now they are both the tag team champions for the first time.
Graves, 2017 was a finalist. 2018 Final Four featured
next year.
Shogun and Sefa.
Oh, look at that. Graves slides under the bottom rope. Not eliminated.
Graves is not eliminated, but he is going to dictate the pace of the remainder of this matchup. The most experienced man in this contest.
No space for you over here, boss. We got it all handled.
It was at Survival of the Fittest where we saw you, Chris, team up with the two men in the ring against Project Body Count, and we saw Graves
once the odds were against him, run away. The first time we ever saw that man run from a fight.
So let's talk about strategy here, right? We're down to the final 3, and we've got these 2 gentlemen in the ring. They're about to battle it out because they're going to allow him to stay on the floor. Why would you allow him to stay on? Look. They're distracted. He's sneaking.
Well, Sefa and Shogun did huge battle with you last year at Against All Odds inside the Rumble.
Sefa threw me up so high, I could have grabbed that No Limits title if it was there back then.
You know, no matter which one of these 3 are victorious tonight, Chris Bey, you definitely have a tough night in store for you. And Shogun with the big boot.
Look at that! Oh my Lord! Elevated Samoan drop, crushes the ribs of Shogun, drives the wind out of his body, and Sefa Fatu is feeling it, but he doesn't see Graves. Wow! It was 10 months ago when he took the Nevada State title from Graves. It was 5 months ago when Graves turned his back on Stephan Bonnar after we thought they had formed a friendship and rejoined Hammerstone to form Project Body Count. And it was tonight that Graves took advantage of Stephan Bonnar and eliminated him from the Against All Odds Rumble.
And once again, Graves outsmarts Sefa.
But look at this! Stephan Bonnar distracting Graves. Shogun Jones trying to take advantage of the situation.
You notice I'm getting a little bit more quiet because I want to see what's going to happen. I want to know which one of these 2 will it be.
And Graves is such a dangerous challenger for you should he win this matchup. He is all about destruction. Shogun Jones, you can say the same thing, but you've squared off one-on-one with him before.
That was a much younger, much less experienced version of the man we're looking at today.
Absolutely.
Since then, he's gone on to do, as you know, defeat Kenny King.
Oh, great things he's done.
As you know, make a name for himself outside of Las Vegas, appearing on different television platforms.
Look at this, Graves feels like it's about over.
Yeah, but he can't deadweight, as strong as Graves is, it's gonna be hard for him to deadweight a man that size.
That's a man that's 245 pounds of muscle who knows how to moonsault. You can't just move that guy. He has to move himself.
Forgot we had a cough button.
The right hand, big right hand from Shogun, rocking Graves.
And a big chop sends Graves flying. If you can knock Graves off his feet like that, you know there was a lot of impact behind that shot. Shogun psyching himself up and trying to get that adrenaline going.
And Shogun trying to get rid of Graves.
Oh, but Graves gets tangled up. That's what allowed him to hold on, and Shogun thinks he eliminated Graves. Oh, no!
Graves has been eliminated. And for your winner of the match, earning a title shot in the main event, Shogun Jones!
Absolutely not an upset, but Shogun Jones survives the field of 30 competitors. And tonight, he will get his rematch from No Escape against you, Chris Bey. This matchup has been 10 months in the making.
Two-a-days in the gym, always in the ring, always on the road. Tomorrow will be 338 days because I am not leaving Samstown without this championship. So Shogun, bring all that knowledge I've seen you acquire. Bring that fire that I know you have, and bring your chocolate therapy sweater. And come get this work from the Ultimate Finesser right now.
And we are ready for our main event. Chris Bey going up against Shogun Jones, the man who won the 30-man Rumble earlier tonight. And now he gets his second opportunity at the gold.
He opened the year unable to take that title from Chris Bey. But will he be able to close out his sophomore year in pro wrestling as the FSW heavyweight champion. What the hell? Project Body Count, Hammerstone and Graves. It was last year at Against All Odds that Chris Bey won the Rumble and took that title away from Hammerstone. It was tonight that Shogun Jones eliminated Graves to win the Rumble and challenge Chris Bey for that title.
You want to talk about a couple of sore losers.
Absolutely. Bey teamed up with Sefa.
I'm sick of this. I'm done with this. You two bullies. Really? Really? He beats you fair and square, so this is what you do? You call your goonie on him? Huh? That's your goonie, yeah, that's your goonie, because he just got his hands dirty. I didn't see you do any other work. Matter of fact, I never see you do any other work.
Chris Bey calling out Graves.
We are not going to end this night like this. I'm about to break you. So I got a question for everybody because I've already beaten you actually at Against All Odds for this. So how many of y'all want to see me whoop Graves' ass? Then you know what? Right here, right now, heavyweight title. You want this so bad? Graves, you got it!
So, Shogun.
Hammer. You're moving like a shadow. Get out of my guy's butt. I'm gonna need you to take it to the back and stay there and watch on the monitor lesson number 37 in the art of finesse. And that is Against All Odds belongs to Bey.
Well, it looks like we have a title match, but Shogun Jones is not going to be the one getting the title.
Yeah, it's going to be the man who was the runner-up in the Against All Odds Rumble, challenging Chris Bey for the championship. He took out Shogun with the help of Hammerstone, and now he finds himself challenging Chris Bey for the FSW heavyweight title.
All right, guess we're gonna do this. All right, the following contest is for the FSW Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, the challenger. He is the holder of the FSW Tag Team Championship from 6 feet deep. This is Graves. And introducing his opponent, weighing in at 180 pounds, from Bay Area AVA, he is the reigning and defending FSW Heavyweight Champion, the ultimate finesser, Chris Bey!
1 year ago, Bey took the title off the other member of Project Body Count. Tonight he finds himself against Graves one-on-one defending that title. We thought it was going to be Shogun's rematch, 10 months in the making, but that is not meant to be on the 337th day of the FSW title reign of Chris Bey. And is that a peek into the future? Graves, 1/3 of the tag team champions.
Look at the big smile on Graves' face. He's got nothing to lose. He shouldn't even been in the match, and now he's got a chance to be the heavyweight champion.
Nothing to lose. Challenging for the title. And we are ready. This place is rocking. They are ready for Chris Bey to make it 338 days as the FSW champion. But can he do it? Because this is a big mountain to overcome, a big hill to climb. But Chris Bey is ready. John Woo dropkick sends the challenger into the corner.
Chris Bey, he's not worried about he's glad there's at least a top rope.
That's all Chris Bey's gonna need is the top rope. The only time we've seen these two in the ring together, essentially in tag team or singles competition, was at Survival of the Fittest this past summer. Oh no! Chris Bey tried to spring off that bottom rope. It was Bey. It was Sefa Fatu. It was Shogun Jones against Project Body Count. And after Sefa, Shogun, and Bey had eliminated the rest of the team, only Graves was left. And rather than try and fight those men, Graves just tuck-tailed and ran. It was the first time we had ever seen Graves run from a fight.
Oh, and look at that, right to the side of the face. And Chris Bey not having any problems without any second rope.
No, he'll figure it out. Standing moonsault off the apron. And Chris Bey is feeling it. The FSW champion, who a lot of people have felt has put together the greatest run of exciting matches that any FSW champion has ever had, is continuing that streak tonight. Him and Graves, no matter what you think of Graves, should be a hell of a contest. Oh! Springboarding off the ropes, gets the stunner. But Graves holding on to the rope so he can't be drugged back to the center of the ring, and Bey cannot go for that pinfall attempt.
And I'm pretty sure Bey cannot just yank Graves.
No, that's a big man to move.
As strong as Chris Bey is, telling everybody using his head. And there's one thing you know about Chris Bey, one of the smartest guys out there. He knows what he needs to do. You know, he's chopped down the big monsters like Killer Cross and Hammerstone.
And Graves is telling everybody to move. What's he gonna do with Chris?
Maybe they didn't buy a front row seat, I don't know.
Oh man! Insane agility out of the champion. Graves' plan didn't work out for him. Spring rail forearm out of the champion, levels Graves. And Chris Bey sees Graves on the floor. Chris Bey wanted this fight tonight. With Shogun unable to compete, he probably could have just had the rest of the night off, but that wasn't for him. What was for him is defending this championship with honor against the best possible competition. Step up, tried the Rana. Oh, and he gets swung into the rails. Then the steps, and then powerbomb violently on the edge of the ring, and then Graves attempts to take his head off.
This is the closest Graves has ever had the chance to be the FSW heavyweight champion, and you know he is going to do whatever it takes. If Graves wins tonight, Project Body Count is holding almost all the belts.
Hey, a lot of us assumed when Graves won the cash in the case ladder match, the first thing he was going to do was cash in on the winner of Hammerstone or Sefa Fatu, with the other option being Chris Bey, Killer Cross winner. Instead, he went a different route, but he finds himself challenging for the championship, the FSW title, a few months later against Chris Bey. So those big legs now to try and cut off the flow of blood in the body of Chris Bey.
And if there's one person who can wear down Chris Bey, it is definitely Graves. He'd love nothing more than to tap out the heavyweight champion.
And he can do it. He tapped out. He submitted Stephan Bonnar about a year and a half ago. Him, Gallows, and Hammerstone have been a destructive force in FSW. And we've seen Graves change a lot ever since joining Project Body Count, ever since helping form Project Body Count. He's always had a vicious side, but now he has a mean streak, almost an uncontrollable urge to dish out violence.
And Chris Bey in a heap of trouble.
And he's just pounding away at the champion. For Graves, there isn't many things you can say he would have a disadvantage in any fight he enters. The only thing he would have the disadvantage with against Chris Bey is speed. And he's been able to slow down Chris Bey.
And the back elbow from Graves connects on Chris Bey. Will we have a new heavyweight champion? We have a new no limits champion that we just saw with Remy Marcel. Will Graves add the heavyweight championship to the tag team titles that he now possesses?
Or will things stay the same with Chris Bey on the top of the mountain as FSW champion? 337 days as is. Will it go to 338 tomorrow with Chris Bey as the holder of the FSW heavyweight title? These guys are giving Graves the business. They did not like the way he came about this title shot.
Sort of the same way they took the tag titles. And without the middle rope, Graves goes right through onto the floor.
Yeah, Graves gets sent outside. And Chris Bey is ready to try and turn this match up a little. Slingshot, he gets caught, went for the Pescado. Oh no, what is? And a tombstone on the wood, on the floor. And that tombstone could spell the end of Chris Bey's title reign. It could be the death of Chris Bey's championship supremacy in FSW.
And there's Graves stopping the count. He knows he's not here to just beat Chris Bey. He's here to pin him, tap him out in the middle of the ring. He knows tonight's the night that he has the opportunity of a lifetime to walk out the FSW heavyweight champion, but only a 2 count.
Yeah, and how did Chris Bey still have it in him to get the shoulder up? It shows you how much Chris Bey, how much the championship means to Chris. It's why he moved to Vegas, was to build his name. It was to achieve these goals, to win these titles. Graves, it's a little bit of a different story. Graves, it took a long time to win a title in FSW, and he earned it.
You know, he saw when his best friend Hammerstone turned on Graves, but he did what he needed to do to become the heavyweight champion, and now, obviously, Hammerstone continued to get in the ear of Graves, and he finally listened, and now Graves is at the pinnacle, and becoming the heavyweight champion will top it all off for him.
And it was at the 9th anniversary when Graves won his first singles title in FSW, his first title in FSW. Oh no!
In a match with Chris.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris Bey.
I was going to bring that up, but Graves sent right into the steel, shoulder first. What a lot of fans don't know is there's a little piece of metal sticking out of that turnpost from when the ropes broke and had been removed. And that could have been driven into Graves' shoulder.
And the referee making the count. Chris Bey retains if there's a count out, but Graves is quickly back in before the 5.
And Graves is going to try to have to win this with one arm, I think. I don't know what the recovery time is going to be for having your shoulder driven into steel. And yeah, he doesn't have the same spring trying to throw those punches.
And Bey is just too quick for him right now.
And this is where the champion's going to have to capitalize. Oh, when he caught him on the back of the head. Didn't get all of them, but enough to throw Graves off and send him down. Faymaster.
And he drives him to the mat. 1, 2.
Chris Bey only with the 2 count there.
Fans letting us know it was a 2 count, Jake. It was 2.
Thank God they're there. Chris Bey, though, ascending up top, looking to take a big risk. Trying to use the same move that brought him the title here.
And there it is, the frog splash. 1.
But look at Graves just sitting up like Jason Voorhees coming back from the dead. And plants him with the power slam, and he's not finished. German suplex. Chris Bey staggering back to his feet. How much more can Bey endure?
And Graves looking to finish off the champ. This match is turned around.
Speaking of turned, he just turned Chris Bey hard.
The final cut. Is it a wrap?
Oh, Chris Bey gets the shoulder up. Chris Bey gets the shoulder up, but Graves, you can see, he has exerted a lot of energy in this matchup. He's breathing a little bit heavy as Chris Bey struggles to try to get to that vertical base.
Look at this, Graves is just lurking right behind Chris Bey.
Trying to lock in that submission hold.
But Chris Bey
fighting like a champion. Side of the head, he rocked Graves.
And he needed that. If he is looking to retain.
Well, here comes Hammerstone. Bey told him to keep himself out of this matchup since he's already beat him in the past. Obviously, Hammerstone wasn't going to listen, but he's got the attention of Grimy. Oh, Tope con Hilo. Current champ takes out the former champ.
And Chris Bey, does he have what it's going to take to take out Graves as he goes up top?
Looking for that finishing shot. Oh, double stop to the spine of Graves, should do it.
1, 2,
but no. Graves gets that shoulder up. Unreal. Bey thought he had Graves beat and he was going to retain that championship.
And it looks like Hammerstone just got behind me and grabbed one of the belts.
May have. I was distracted by the action in the ring, but Chris Bey is wondering what else he's going to have to unleash to try. Yeah, I see it now. Hammerstone has one of the titles, and Chris Bey is wondering what else he's going to have to unleash to try and put away Graves without realizing. Well, here comes Shogun. Without realizing Hammerstone grabbed the title, but here comes Shogun distracting the champ. And on the other side of the ring, Hammerstone threw that title to Graves. And up the ramp goes Shogun and Hammerstone. Shogun, whose match this should have been, has Chris Bey's back tonight. What? Oh no! Graves just caught him in the spine.
1, 2.
No! Graves thought he had Bey beat. He thought he was going to be the champion. But Chris Bey isn't going to let the title slip away that easily. This is a man who moved all the way across the country to be here. That title means everything to him.
And the crowd, they are trying to get behind their champion.
He's locked in that submission. Chris Bey has nowhere to go. He's not close to the ropes.
We have not seen anyone not give up when Graves has it set.
Chris Bey is in a lot of struggle. The best thing he can do is try and will himself to that bottom rope to try and break the hold. because Graves has a death grip on him.
He could be out.
No one has escaped, and I don't think Chris Bey is going to be any different. No! Whoa!
We have a new champion.
And new FSW Heavyweight Champion, Graves!
And despite all of the things that Graves has done, there's still fans that love our new heavyweight champion.
And for the second time this year, Graves has gone into an event, not even challenging for a championship, and finds himself leaving the event with a title.